I'm Don. It's late. I'm up. Hi. How are you guys doing? That is the podcast audience and/or the chatters who will eventually be joining us. It's always weird when I'm talking to no one and I see people pop up and stuff. It's a strange experience. So, anyways, right now I'm talking to no one except for people in the future. So, hello, people in the future. Is it cool there? Is the weather better then? Have we solved world peace in the future? Oh, I have hope for a better tomorrow through you people. Um, that being said, I've been on a kick where I've been watching movies late at night, and as I often talk about and watch movies on this channel, but I've been on a kick where I watch movies every night that have been pertaining to things going on around me. Tonight, I thought we would go with 30 Days of Night. We've been extremely cold where I'm at. I'm in the northern part of the U.S. and we're just being bombarded with snow real bad. And then we had a freeze out where everything got abnormally cold, like -7, and I think I looked up Celsius. That was like -25 or something. So we today we had a heat wave and it got up to 13 degrees. I'm sorry, but it's been negative every day for the last couple of days. So because of that, and it's the winter and yada yada yada, I've been on this kick of watching all these snowy, cold movies and that just go along with what's going on around me. So tonight's feature is 30 Days of Night. It's a pretty awesome horror movie. As far as vampire flicks go, it's pretty cool. It adds a lot to the lore. I feel like it's kind of a, how to describe it, like a dusk till dawn type vampires. They're not your usual, guy in a cape with the fangs, and they're not a Dracula ripoff. This is more of a Nosferatu type vampire. They got the ugly teeth and stuff. But this takes place in, up near in Alaska, where they have no sunlight for long periods of time. There's a HBO show currently on about that. There's a Robin Williams movie, Insomnia, that talks about the other end of it, where they have constant days of light. So in this, there's the I don't know. Just as I say that, I look up and there's a commercial for the Jodie Foster thing on the TV. Never mind, not important. So. I thought I would watch 30 Days of Night. It's a vampire movie in the snow where the sun never comes out, so they could just attack and attack and attack. I kind of enjoyed it the first time I saw it, but it's been a minute since I've seen it, so a lot of it's just going to be me rediscovering it, right? So I'm trying to keep it down. I feel like, hey, Jim's here. I'm trying to keep it down because I don't know. I feel like I'm staying in a hotel currently, and that's part of the theme of all these movies I've been watching. So I'm trying not to be too loud out of courtesy for people piling in here because of the bad weather. But Jim gets a few minutes. Yeah, it's a late start tonight, Jim. Our buddy, Now It's Dark Jim, is here. Yeah, it's a late start tonight. I have to keep it real for the night owls, right? Like I feel like I'm selling out when I start at like 10 p.m. Central or whatever, or 11 p.m. Eastern. Mayanne wanted me to start the show at 11 p.m. Eastern. And I was like, no way, man. The whole point of the show is that I'm here for these folks who are up in the middle of the night and it's like 3 in the morning. And like, I can't believe I'm still awake. And it's like, oh, that dude's on my phone talking about movies. It's a tribute to my guys, the late night movie hosts, the Joe Bob Briggs of the world, the heroes. Cheers. Because it's a late night stream tonight, it's a sparse audience. We're keeping it real speakeasy and chill. The late night ones always have a very minimal attendance, but they end up catching cult followings for some reason. People like to see the ones they missed. But anyways, Jim, you're awesome. I'm glad you are here. Insomnia never dies. That's beautiful. Let's sell that to some studio, right? I'm going to start this. It is on both Netflix and Tubi. I have Netflix on my computer, but not on my Fire Stick, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to watch it on Tubi. But the people who want to breeze through this fast can get through on Netflix, right? It's an hour and 53 minutes. I'm going to assume with Tubi's version with the commercials, I'm going to get hit with an extra 10, 15. I don't know. We'll see. So it's 2:15 now. I think that's like a great time to start. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, let's get to Tubi. Oh, I love when I have to do technical difficulty stuff. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh, 30 Days of Night was waiting for me. See, Tubi, the app, is not a bad app. I dig it. Jim says, every time I saw a tire at work yesterday, I thought of you. Did any of them make anybody's head explode? I can't believe I talked for, whatever, an hour and a half about a crazy tire movie, and I didn't bring up David Lynch once. Like, I thought about it later today. I was like, oh, I could have described it as like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes meets David Lynch, and that would have solved everybody's problem. But no, it's always a day late and a dollar short. So we see my man here starting off. He's out on the shores of Alaska, and he's looking at the tankers frozen out on the ice. Really beautiful cinematography. I believe this was a graphic novel or a series of graphic novels. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they came after or whatever, but I know there's a whole series of comic books and stuff. When I was looking up the posters, I saw them again and was reminded, oh yeah. So it's been a long time since I've seen this one, probably 10 years. The first time I saw it, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was going to be a lot like The Thing. It looks kind of derivative of The Thing. A lot of the, even that opening shot there with the close-up on a man's face in the parka, it looked a lot like the classic Drew Struzan The Thing poster. Sorry, I had to do the deep cut on the artist there. I didn't mean to nerd out. Man, this cinematography is great. Yeah, the big long wide shots. It's shot in the wide screen, the Panavision or whatever it's called. Panoscope, not Panavision. Yeah. I keep getting caught up by the captivating color scheme and everything. It's really beautiful. They do a great job capturing the snow and the cold. Anthony Chabot is here. He says, how are you, buddy? By the way, I had a bad day too. Well, that is terrible. You know what? Come here. Oh, boy. Oh, all right. You get him, champ. You get him, all right? You're the number one YouTuber in the world on the road to 2K. You don't have anybody hold you down. You're working on your memoirs. Shit. This is a great movie. Yeah. Like I said, I kind of thought it was going to be a derivative sort of ripoff of The Thing, right? So you see all the art, like some of the shots and the artwork, and even the big widescreen presentation of it. It's a lot like Carpenter's Thing, but it's almost like they had the source material and they kind of knew what direction to take it in. So it's not, abusive with it or anything. I think reminding me of something I love is good as long as you're not stealing outright. I'm getting mad at like, oh, there's the same shot again from The Thing. I hugged too. It was a big old group hug. Oh, that is sweet. Circle jerk later. Well, that's the Night Owl After Dark. We're going to start a Patreon for those. Hey, Anthony, Joe, Pop Culture. Yes, that's nice. Well, I'm sorry you had a bad day ultimately, and I'm sure the hug didn't help that much. But you know what I mean? It might. Yeah, once again, beautiful cinematography, like just the shot of this man walking across the icy snow and then the sunset going down and stuff at golden hour. Like they're going out of their way to get just like key, what's the word I'm looking for? Just cinematic kind of artistic shots, Let me turn a little bit there for us there. Anthony says he is watching the TED TV series. What's the TED? I forget. Is that Ted Danson? They didn't make that bear into a TV show, did they? Or is that on the Peacock? I like calling the channels the. Have you seen the Tubi? Are you watching the Netflix? It's that way I get the senior discount at restaurants. Normally I have a beer this late at night. Tonight I'm having a heavily fortified electrolyte drink. It is so cold and dry outside. Like I said, we had a heat wave today. It was like 13 degrees. Yeah, once again, I just keep getting caught up by how beautiful the cinematography is. I guess they had a lot of time to shoot because they're out there in the middle of nowhere. It's like, take 15 takes. We don't care. Barrow, Alaska, top of the world. Awesome. Yeah, Anthony, what TV shows? Oh, you said Argyle and Madam Web soon. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, what is her name? Let me get the info. Let's see. Oh, wow. That's a surprise. Let me look. Rotten Tomatoes. Critic score was 51%, and the audience score is 56%. So it's certified bad. It's a splat. While 30 Days of Night offers a few thrills, it ultimately succumbs to erratic execution. Well, so far that's horseshit because I've been commenting how beautiful it is. I mean, later on, does it get all jumpy? Like I said, it's been a minute since I've seen it. I right now I hold that review in contempt. We will see. We will see. It's showing 19 here, which is double yesterday. That's awesome. You're getting a heat wave. Yeah, we're supposed to get a little bit of snow again tonight, which is cool with me because that means usually it doesn't snow when it's that horribly freezing cold. So the idea that it's enough moisture is coming into the air to have snow drop on us is cool. So I feel like like here we go again. We have the dogs all chained up in the kennel and it looks just like the dog that they have in The Thing. And we see the dogs someone murders them, and we see it's just like a bunch of gross. So be careful. There's animal violence in here for people who are triggered by that. But yeah, it's been a minute since I've seen this, so a lot of it's going to be almost a first watch. Like I remember the major plot points. I remember, this being a decent Josh Hartnett vehicle. I remember the guy who plays the lead vampire like steals the show. So that was one of the things I wanted to check out. The lead woman in it is Melissa George. Oh, okay. I was wondering who that was. She's very pretty. She holds the screen well. Danny Houston is Marlowe. That's the guy who really sets it off. And then Ben Foster is the stranger. So, yeah, lots of that guys in this cast. I like it. I like it. But as I said on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a 51% for the critics, 56% for the audience. And then on IMDb, it's a 6.6 out of 10. But the popularity has been going up. So I don't know. Josh Hartnett's an interesting guy. He was kind of like an it boy for a minute. He was in a ton of stuff. And then like we all sort of knew who he was. And then he just got sick of being a star and he just moved away. I believe he moved to Minnesota and he just like hangs out. No, he's like, all right, enough. So he turns up in stuff every now and then, but I don't know. I always liked him. He's fine. He's got the lanky Midwestern charm that I relate to it. It works. Okay, that's kind of no, I mean it wasn't that bad. Like I said, it's a hour and 53 minute. Ooh, man, she ran into a plow combine. That's brutal. It's an hour and 53 minutes. It'll be interesting to see how much the to-be cut is with commercials, but shouldn't be too long. We'll be on the late night tip as usual. Anthony says, I was watching Red Eye. It was awesome. Yeah, I'm a fan of, oh, wait a minute. Which Red Eye? The Fox News show or the damn it, Wes Craven movie? That's what it is. I couldn't think of who the star was. It Cillian Murphy? Is that maybe who that is? Red Eye? Cillian Murphy? I don't know how to say that name. I'm always lose confidence when I start saying it. Echo was my kingpin, now running for mayor of New York City. Oh, wow. Yeah, I really liked I haven't been keeping up with any of the Disney Plus stuff, but I really loved Vincent D'Onofrio in as the Jesus Christ, the Kingpin in the Daredevil show. And then what? Didn't he turn up again in the Punisher? Maybe. But yeah, I thought he did a great job in that. In the that first season of Daredevil, he stole the show there. Oh, the Wes Craven one. Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, I have that one on DVD. I'm a fan of it. I've watched it a handful of times. It's a good, tight thriller, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, so far. I'm not feeling the erratic execution. So far, it's kind of noticeably beautiful. Like it's got kind of a blue tint to it. Obviously, it should. It's supposed to feel cold. But like all the shots are framed really nice, and I feel like, you know, especially in the big widescreen presentation, there's lots of tight close-ups on people. Yeah, I don't know. So far, I'm arguing with Rotten Tomatoes as per usual. Usually, I agree with the critics, and then I disagree with the audience score. The audience score was a little higher than the critics score on this one, but both say no. Oh, our friend Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees cosplay. I know. Brian, what are you up to? Why do you have so many YouTube accounts? Are you trying to stay one step ahead of the law? I mean, don't tell me if you are, like, don't out yourself, but I'm just saying, like, you know, give me a wink, give me a sign if something's up. Because, yeah, I'm always up. I'm always wondering what's up with you, but I'm happy you're here. You're my guy. You're always a fun dude. Such a polite, fun guy. Saying hi to everybody. Yeah. But yeah, we've been on this kick of watching all these cold movies on this channel. We started off with Frozen, and then we moved on to The Shining. And then since I'm trapped at a hotel, we watched Motel Hell. And then we had a wild card, and we watched Chud. And then our buddy Larry, the horror cat, died. Oh, I forgot the Dead Zone. I always forget the Dead Zone. I must have been half asleep when I did the Dead Zone. The Dead Zone was after Motel Hell, but before Chud, I believe. And then our buddy, the horror cat dad, came by on Sunday, and he watched Predator 2. And then on Monday, we took the day off, I believe. And then on Tuesday, we had double feature. In the afternoon, we watched The Carpenter with our buddy Matt, Pugwall 316. He came and hung out, or while we did simulcast, we watched The Carpenter starring Wings Hauser together as part of Wings Week. And then I was licensed to use Wings Week myself. So then last night we watched Rubber with Wings Hauser in it. So now tonight we're getting back to our cold movie theme. You know, you got to get back to your roots. Sometimes people want you to play the hits. So as long as I'm suffering through the cold, you have to suffer through the cold with me. So I'll try to pick out the best cold and snowy movies I can. But eventually I'm going to get tired of talking about the weather. That's part of the reason we had Monsters for a few days. But anyways, Brian says, yeah, he's a drug dealer, but no, I understand. You got to stay ahead of the law, brother. You know what I mean? They get hot on your tail, and yeah, I was not familiar with Melissa George's work. She's very pretty. I don't know what I'm missing. But yeah, I don't know. The audience never likes it when I go check out other when I go through IMDb. Yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting movie. I'm waiting for the vampires to show up. When the first act, we'll look and see at what point we'll get a timestamp as soon as the vampires show up. Because I would bet we'd have to be. Oh, an ad break's going to come in 9 seconds, of course. Brian says 3 degrees here in New Hampshire tonight. Oh yeah, man, it's not that cold here. So yeah, you're taking the beating tonight, brother. I apologize. Well, luckily I have a cold movie here to watch with you. Yeah, today I went out. I've been going out about every, I don't know, 10 or 15 hours and making sure I start my car and warm it up and give it a little bit of gas and flush the gas line and stuff. I make sure I don't have less than a quarter of a tank in it, yada, yada, yada. The stuff you do when it's freezing out to make sure that the car works. Um, so I've been doing that like every, 10 to 15 hours or so. So it's been starting up and doing fine. But then today when I went out and it was like 13 degrees, like it felt like, oh man, it's not biting me like it normally does. Like, um, but we were lucky. We got hit with all this snow before the cold came. So like I'm in a parking lot where the car isn't covered. So the snow got piled up by the snow plows and made like these big snow walls. So when the biting winter like wind came, it blows over the top of the snow because the snow like ice wall protects it. So yeah, once again, the snow is my ally, but the cold is a mean mistress. You know, snow is beautiful, but the cold will leave you without an ear. Take one of your nose or something, oh, I don't have any extra noses to spare. Jim says, I do like the ad break countdown, right? It's on Netflix. And I thought about doing the split screen thing on my computer, but I was like, eh. And then it's so cold outside. I was like, I'm not going outside to go grab another HDMI cable or whatever. So I'll just watch it on Tubi. I kind of like seeing what's going on in the commercial world because commercials pretty much disappeared. I know they're coming back and everybody's mad about it, but we had a good run there, baby, where it was like 15 years where commercials were real limited and you could work around them. Not anymore. So I kind of keep my finger on the pulse of things with the commercials. Are you familiar with Lumidi, whatever her name is, the lady who's got the lotion that's like a deodorant, and she's like, you rub it under your underboob, your crotch, your butt crack. I was like, that's what they say in commercials nowadays. We didn't. For us, it was like Mikey likes it. Brian said he's been running the van for 2 straight days. Oh wow, yeah. So you're all good then. That's what happened to us, Night Owl. We got hit with the snow, then the cold followed. Yeah, you know what? It might have been Mark Crab that blew your way. That's usually how it works. I do, however, get slightly annoyed when I see 9 more ads to go. Mine is always surprisingly good. Admittedly, my pop-up blocker for the computer, so I don't get so many ads on like ESPN and stuff, seems to work on here. Like, so when I watch it on my computer, Tubi on my computer, the ads don't ever show up. It just pops up for the ad and then it goes away. But on the regular streaming stick here, yeah, we get it, but they're pretty quick. They seem to go in cycles. You'll get like a 2-minute one, and then you'll get like a 40-second one, and then you'll get like a 2-minute one, and then you'll get like 3 40-seconders. You know how cycles work. Hey, Lamonia Demonia, how are you? I always beg for freezing temperatures when I'm sweltering in the summer heat, but when I actually experience the severe winter, I take it all back. Yeah, that's the beauty of the winter weather. I was explaining earlier that I kind of like it. I like the seasons. I like to know that right now it's cold as crap and I'm kind of half miserable, but it's sort of like making me a tougher like person with more resolve. Like I feel some sort of pride in being able to tolerate it. And by tolerate it, I mean hide my ass in a hotel and go sit in a hot tub every now and then. So, I'm tough. But when that's going on, it's nice to know that the spring is going to come and it's going to be real beautiful and pretty. And I'm going to be happy, like, oh, it's 60. How nice. And then the summer is going to come and it's going to be crappy and hot. And I'm going to be all sweaty and I'm going to be like, this sucks. And then fall is going to come and it's going to last for like a blink. And I'm going to be mad because it's the happiest time of the year. Everything's beautiful and I'm in a good mood. And then it's like, yeah, that lasted 3 weeks. We're done here. And then the winter comes back. That damn evil winter. Our friend Pugwall is here. Hey, dude. Hi, Chad. All safe and warm? Yes, thank you. We were just discussing. It's a rolling, shifting cold around here, but I'm getting over it, and now Brian is getting hit with it. But thank you for asking. We were just talking about you earlier about Wings Week. So what a genius inventor of such a concept you are. There we go. Yeah, everybody's saying hi to each other. So yeah, once again, I keep getting noticed how good the overall cinematography is. So I feel like the Rotten Tomatoes review that this is uneven is kind of, how dare you right now? We get to see a vampire though. I'll give you a timestamp when we get our first vampire. Yeah, I'm entranced. We got a heavy duty scene. Josh Hartnett's acting his ass off. He was like, I was in a Halloween movie and I worked with Harrison Ford. Everybody's saying new. Oh, and I forgot to. I think I welcomed everybody. Good. Okay, so Pugwall and Lamone, I love them, so that's good. That's all that matters. Yeah, this one it plays really good to a cold movie audience. Like I said, it's right up there with The Thing and Hateful Eight and some of the other classic snowed in movies. I love. Some of them we've watched already and talked about. The Lodge is a fun one. The original, what is it? Thing from Another World, Planet. I always get that confused. Survivors with Robin Williams. I remember as a little kid just kind of being fascinated by the snow scenes. So many good snowed in cold movies. It's sort of fun. It's like you don't want to go outside and be out in the cold because it sucks and it's fun to play in the snow for a little bit and it's like, okay, let's go back in now. So it's fun to sort of go inside and watch a good snowed in movie and feel like empathy with the characters. Like, hey, I'm doing that too. They're doing my thing. That's fun. Matt says his heating decided to stop working. Thanks for the credit, but it mainly goes to you. Oh, well, dude, you're burying the lead there. Well, I guess you didn't bury the lead. You started with the lead. That's terrible reporting on my behalf. Well, stay warm, brother. I don't know. I wish I could. Here, let me. There we go. I'll give you the Miyagi. I'll give you the Miyagi. There we go. There we go. All right. I hope you're warm, buddy. Stay warm. You and Mrs. and the Springer. I'll go hug your cocker spaniel, cocker springer, the cute dog. God damn it! You and your wife and the dog cuddle up. Pugwall says he doesn't mind Josh Hartnett, as Harrison Ford used to call him, at all. Oh, hilarious! Yeah, I actually kind of liked him. We were talking about earlier how he just he kind of disappeared. He decided not to. He decided not to act anymore and just was like, I'm kind of sick of Hollywood. He turns up in stuff every now and then. I'm trying to think of what I saw him in recently. And I was like, oh, yeah, Josh Hartnett. I thought he had left. He came back. He's like CM Punk. I don't know. You definitely know your movies, Night. I've seen a ton. The crazy thing about movies is you can never know all of them because it's just like there's infinity movies. So no matter how many movies I've seen or especially now, when I was a kid, you used to just watch what was on, right? Because that's what was available. You had what you went and rented and then what was on. You couldn't even buy VHS. Like the VHS were like $100 a piece, so you couldn't own them. So you just watched what was on and you saw stuff over and over and over and it burned into your head and you kind of learned to love it. But now you have so much pick and choose whatever you want with different streaming services and all this that I find myself often going back and watching stuff I remember fondly to see if it's good more than I actually watch new stuff. So there's big gaps in my modern movie viewings. But let me see. I've been watching a lot of movies lately since I've been watching your live streams. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I know you're obviously a movie fan. I love horror because that's the community I'm in. If YouTube was a high school, I would sit at the horror lunch table, right? So that's the main thing I swim in and traffic in. I like thrillers and I like a good mind F movie, where something like kind of blows your mind. A Twilight Zone movie, I call them. But I mainly just like to watch stuff that will cleanse the palate for the horror, so I watch it later on and appreciate it. If you watch too much horror, it dulls the senses. So you need to break it up with something crazy and fun every now and then. Oh, Lamonia, look at you, almost reading my mind. I found a copy of it on YouTube. I don't know, I think it's like, that would be like a 4.5 hour stream or something ridiculous. But I had thought about it because I really do dig that movie. I put it on one night late, like I was going on a kick where I was watching all the King flicks and tracking down some of the miniseries that were on ABC and all those. I found most of them on YouTube, like The Stand is on there, and Storm of the Century, and what's it called, Rose Red, and all that. So I had thought about doing it because it's such a cool movie. Like, that's a surprise hit. People don't know about that one. I believe it's also maybe on, I don't know, like maybe you can get it on, I'm sure, on Prime for buying or whatever. But yeah, we may have an afternoon depending on what's going on around with the world. Let's see. I'm honestly just knowledgeable about 80s movies. The rest I have not much knowledge about. Obviously I watched a lot of 80s movies growing up because that's what was, on and you saw over and over again. And, you learned all the actors and all that. So then I stuck with it through the 90s. And then luckily in the thousands, a lot of my friends were into movies too. And that's the thousands is when the DVDs came out and there was like this big resurgence of learning about actors and film history. And there was all these like, supplements on the DVDs and stuff that taught you about film history. So that's when I went back and started watching stuff pre-80s. When I was a kid, 70s movies looked kind of weird to me. But as I got older, movies from the 70s were like the coolest ones. And then I went back and kind of looked at the 60 movies, and you can see like the Cultural Revolution and the fade from black and white to color, and a lot of cool stuff going on in the 60s movies. But I'm still weak in the 50s and 40s. But then the early stuff I'm pretty knowledgeable about. I went and learned all that stuff. I took a film class in college. I took a couple. And you learn about like the history of film around the early 1900s and, Nosferatu and A Trip to the Moon and, all the stuff with, why am I drawing a blank? Fritz Lang, Jesus. Fritz Lang and all that, and you go through the history of silent film and stuff. A lot of that really interested me as I learned about making movies. So, there are big blind spots in the early, after the first creation of film up until like the 60s, and then like modern films like 2000 to now, or probably 2010 till now, let's say. Because I worked in video stores in the early thousands and I saw every freaking thing then. I kind of always been fascinated by movies. It's something people can disagree on, but they don't get pissed at each other about it. So, like if somebody says they disagree with me on a point of a movie, it's not like, oh, I'm so mad somebody dislikes 30 Days of Night. I was like, that's cool. I'll watch it. You don't have to. Sending those hugs back, my man. I love Snow Yeti Avalanche movies up there with Ocean Liner. Yeah, I need to watch that Avalanche movie that you had told me about. I found it on Tubi. I need to check that one out, and we may work something out with that. 80s movies are good to be. Yeah, I agree. Eddie and I just watched Uncle Buck tonight on Peacock. I always love Uncle Buck. Yeah, John Candy's the man. When I was a kid, he's hilarious. Sometimes I'll do the thing where you make a really bad joke, like a overhand, like a heavy pun or something, and then just have a big hearty belly laugh while everybody else silently stands there and looks at you. And I'm like, nobody else likes John Candy? What the hell? But yeah, I love that dude. He was the classic when I was a kid. He had his own cartoon called Camp Candy, and that was like on NBC or one of them shows. Saturday morning cartoon, yeah. Meanwhile, in the movie I'm watching out of the corner of my eye, we see my man, the bald vampire, I believe, the guy who I was bragging on earlier, who steals the show. Oh, and they did a real nice, see, that was good. That was once again well executed. We only saw a glimpse of the vampire. We only saw his bald Nosferatu head. And then when the dude ran after him with the shotgun, we just saw his wife get pulled out the window and then sucked under the house. So yeah, they're doing the thing you're supposed to do in horror movies where we don't get a good look at the monster early on because it loses its mystery. Once again, this is good. I'm disagreeing with the critics and the general audience at large. I disagree with everybody. That's the new name of the show. Don disagrees with people. Let me see here. Where were we? Oh my God, Mr. Bones, the fuck? Our friend Mr. Bones is here. I knew Bones. When do you sleep, brother? You got to keep the same schedule as me, right? Because whenever I'm up, you're up. Or do you like get up early and work third shift or something? What's your deal? Jim says, "The fuck." Yeah, he knows. You should do Warriors from 1979. Oh, that is a great one. Actually, that probably you can almost guarantee at some point we will get to that. It's one of my favorites as well. That one I would like to be settled in somewhere because I would for sure probably have to dress up like a baseball fury or something, right? Like I couldn't just do that one normal. That would have to be a special event. The Camp Candy, Wish Kid, Lucky Louie, Little Roosie, Hammerman. Oh yeah, the golden age of weird cartoon choices. Hey, people like that person. Let's make them into a cartoon. How about Alf? Alf gets one. A little cropped, a little heavy. There we go. Sorry, touch. Yeah, once again, the color scheme, the palette of the movie, it's all shot in like kind of a blue, like a filter or a LUT or whatever you want to call it. Everybody's real like cold and chilly. I can see. Yeah, it kind of has that same feeling that the Dead Zone has, where everything is just blue and cold. Or when they're in the Matrix, when they're not in the Matrix and they're in the real world and it's blue, but when they're in the Matrix, it's like green and warm. Yeah, this blue is very cold, and so far, yeah, I'm agreeing with all the choices. Curse you, critics, you fools. Oh, let's see here. Defuck equals the new salutations. Hello. Hello, kids. Mr. Echo is here. Echo Ciro, friend of the show. Glad to have you, my friend. While there are a few of you here that we recognize and know and love, put your thoughts on 30 Days of Night in the comments. I figure you guys all like it, right? Everybody who's here seems like they'd be something they dig. Echo is a contrarian. He might argue with it. The fuck, Echo? Yeah. Dress up as Swan Night All from the Warriors. That would be awesome. I should dress up like one of the Lizzies. Fuck old man Bones. Oh, Jim's got to go get in the car and warm it up every 10 to 15 times. Well, Jim, when you think of when you see a tire and you think of us here, all right, buddy. We appreciate you joining us every morning with to start your day. You're the man. Oh, we got a commercial. Jim knows just when to leave. He left at the commercial break. And then it said car running. So yeah, see, they knew that the movie was in lockstep with Jim. Oh, our friend Pugwall. Man, I'm worried about Pugwall. You guys send Pugwall some hugs and some warm thoughts and some candles. Start a Kickstarter for something for him to set on fire. I don't know how that works. Half here trying to finish a video I've been working on off and on all day. I like that about you, Echo. You multitask. You drop by and you hang out, you listen, you BS. That's fun. Jim says, "Love and peace, brother. Love and peace, my man. You the dog." Everybody's wishing Jim a good day. Everybody's saying hi to Matt. Yeah, it's nice to have you here, Matt. Like I told everybody, we had our lawyers sit down. We watched The Carpenter together about a day and a half ago. And then afterwards, our lawyers sat down and hammered out an agreement for me to extend Wings Week. So if any of you out there would like to watch a Wings Hauser movie and contact us, well, mainly Matt. I really shouldn't say us, at least my lawyers. Contact us about using the Wings Week branding. You let me know, all right? Or you let Matt know. Hey, our friend Dave is here. Savage Zombie Review. Yo, my brother. Nice to see you. My friend Dave, if you're not familiar with his work, he does also like the movie news, like horror news. He's always keeping me up on stuff. Dave's a hot newsbreaker. Also, Dave's been growing a beard. Are you still working on the beard? That was I knew that this winter was going to be just hella puss. But Savage Zombie Reviews is a funny ass dude. He's also friends with our friend Gareth. He's all over his channel. I believe the two of them have that one. What is it? What is that one Van Damme movie or something that's just been blowing up? But yeah, it's nice to have you here, Dave. Pub also is more than Dave. You have the rights to 66% of the Wings Week. Oh, no, Matt. That's far too generous. My lawyer's going to have to come in and argue with you to get you some back. How about if I'm 33%, you're maybe, how about if I'm 25 and Pug or Alucard is 25 and then you're like 50? That sounds like a more majority owner stake. Morning, it's a cold one. See, you suffering too, right? That's why we're watching 30 Days of Night, and while we've been watching a bunch of these cold-ass movies. It's like something about living the life we're living and then seeing it on TV too, like, right? Me too, with the cold and the burr, right? I'll skate over the sea later for a pint. Oh, awesome. He says, no, the beard is gone. Oh, I haven't seen a picture of you. I knew you were working on it, but I was. The ladies are probably pissed, but all right. Yeah, it's too cold for me to shave mine off yet, man. I usually what'll happen is we'll have like a day where it's like 65 here or something. It'll be nice and like kind of you don't need a jacket. And the first thing I'll do is like get a haircut and shave, and I'll be all like putting on shorts and shit. It's like it's been so cold here, but that today when it finally got up to like regular temperatures that were tolerable, it felt like a damn heat wave, bikini tops and stuff. Al gets the right to get even. Well, okay, that's fair. Get even. I like Get even because it has the balls to have not one alternate name, which I already forgot, but it has two alternate names, which I can't remember. I just always remember as Get even because that's the funniest one to me. But yeah, you got a lot of nerve having two alternate names, also known as Mr. Bones shreds. Mr. Bones always shreds. That's what I like about Bones. When times are tough, Mr. Bones will be rad. It's too a certain length and it drives me crazy. See, I've been noticing in some of my streams, like when the turkey beard grows in here, I have a tendency to poke at it and pull at it and try to like untangle the little like knots as I think, and it like becomes a weird nervous tick that I need to stop. So I'm like find myself like holding my hands to keep myself from tugging at my beard. But generally I don't keep mine very long, but right now it's just so damn cold and there's no reason to shave it off. And I'll get to it eventually. I went and bought some beard balm to get the mustache off my lips. That helps. It's basically like pomade for your mustache. Just like there, that fixed it. Pugwall loves when we have beard talk. Roller gator. Oh, yeah. Pug skated, so I shredded. Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, do I shave my beard in the summer? Yeah. Yeah, like I say, I'll let it just kind of grow, and same with the hair. I'll just kind of keep it as no reason to do anything with it. I don't got any gala events to attend, so it does keep me way warmer. But once it gets warm out, man, it'll make you sweat. Like I don't know how mugs keep their big beard in the summer like that. Like it seems just like it would keep you hot. So here's the first. Damn it, I forgot to check the other vampire. So 3612 is when we see all of them, but it's been a good 6 minutes. I've been blathering. I will say 6 minutes since we saw just a brief glimpse of old buddy, but now we're getting a good look at him. So that's cool. They're pacing it evenly. Yeah, my man Danny Houston is Marlowe. He's the guy that steals the show in this. He kills it. He's scary as hell looking. Let's see here. Borderline ZZ Top action going on. Yeah. Which is hilarious because right now I'm literally sacked outside LaGrange. The town, one town over, is like a little uninhabited town called LaGrange. I was like, he's got legs and he knows how to use them. My pajama bottoms are too tight to be doing any weird yoga tricks. Sorry, guys. He's got legs. He knows how to use them. Gibbons reference. I appreciate it. Look at Matt. He knows. LOL, pug. I guess he's certainly a sharp dressed man. Oh, you guys. I love you so much. Man, I'm like 8 feet tall. So, yeah, good point. I'm a bit stretched out. Sometimes in the winter when I grow the big beard and I wear flannel shirts and I'm like all kind of, stomping by people, I wonder if they look and like, is that Paul Bunyan? Wow, this is great. The vampires are attacking this family and they're shooting them, and obviously the bullets aren't really doing anything. Some of the lighting there is clearly like they're in a set. But in general, I'm very impressed still by the tight shots on the faces in particular are really lit in like a cold but cinematic fashion. I dig it. But yeah, that shot right there is kind of clearly a set. Let's see here. Snap, Mr. Bones. Tall glass of water. It is. I'm 6'8". I have, let's see, in centimeters. It's a 203.2 centimeters. Let me see what it is in meters. There we go. 2.032 meters. I don't know. I try to help out my overseas audience. A lot of them are there. Basically, I'm taller than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, but I'm not as tall as LeBron James. I've been in the same room with all of them at one point or another. So I'm that height. I'm not like Shaq height though. Shaq height sucks. My height sucks because I can't find the right car or the right pants. When you're Shaq, you have to like have a private plane because you don't fit anywhere else. He had to be rich. He had no choice. Mr. Bones, we discussed this earlier. I think Brian is in the witness protection program, but I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to draw any attention. Peter Steele's height. Oh, I didn't know he was that tall. We were talking about him the other night. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I ever heard of that dude before in my life, and then like in the last 6 months, he gets brought up all the time. Like, yeah, I'm lanky. I'm lanky. I come from tall people. My mom is like 5'10", and she's the shortest one in her family. Like everybody else is well over 6 foot. It's all giants. And Peter Crouch. Let's see here. Just this one now, Mr. Bones. At least going to be my own channel now. Well, you never can tell with Brian. Brian's a rascal. He's he gets around. So I basically like that he uses the Jason mask. So no matter what comes up, I know it's him. That's all I need, as long as I have some sort of something to grab onto. Yeah, the first time you popped up and you had a new name, and I was like, I'm going to guess that's Brian. Just the Jason mask is what's going to sell it. But I think Mayanne maybe had a Jason mask at one point, or she had something to do with Jason, like his mask or something, before she switched to the Forever Horror Queen gimmick, which is money. That is money. Like if you had to pick a wrestling gimmick, the Forever Horror Queen that's money. We're gonna sell a bunch of T-shirts for that. This is one of Mr. Bones. Lisa's going to be on my channel. Yeah, wascally wabbit. Pretty much. Oh, Josh Hartnett's acting his ass off. He's crying. I'm not even really sure what's going on in the plot, but he's crying. So that's good acting. Give this man an Oscar. No, it's kind of hard not to. It's pretty easy plot to follow. These folks are in the middle of the nowhere where they get long stretches of no sunlight, so the vampires can thrive and they don't have to keep hiding like they normally do. So because of that, a vampire problem is a real vampire problem. And we see them showing up and attacking this small town. Also, the fact that it's an isolated small town makes it way harder for them to get help. You know what I mean? What are they going to do? Call the National Guard? So, they're kind of isolated. Then, and the sheriff of the town is kind of screwed. I compared it earlier when it first came out. I thought of it looked a lot like The Thing because of the isolation and the snow and all that. These vampires look a lot like the zombies from Dawn of the Dead, though. They're wow, the vampires are flipping the car, but the long way. That's just silly. These vampires' motives are all over the place. Anyways, Brian says he's going to be doing Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees videos now, cosplay videos. Yeah, like I say, those videos you were making, especially you did that one where I believe you put the Siskel and Ebert review or some famous review over the top of one of your fan films, cosplay fan films, and it really was kind of, I don't know, it was a moody art piece. I dug it. It held my attention the whole way through. It was kind of cool. Oops, I'm sorry. Goodness. Josh's hair is of infinite interest to me. His hair is kind of beautiful, isn't it? A few times he's had like the long locks, but in this mainly he's had a winter cap on the whole time, like a ski cap or whatever. Yeah, I suppose I should have put one on to commemorate the cold movie. But yeah, let me grab a snack and put a winter cap on. You guys want to rock the Casbar with me? I had these once before. They're pretty damn good. They're, oh, Grandpa, put on your glasses. Creamy, crunchy layer bar, chocolate caramel. Yeah, it's basically just a like a cookie outer shell with like a little bit of cream and caramel in it. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with them. I've only had them once before, but when I got gas at the gas station, it was very important to bring this for tonight's stream. So this will be an on-air review of the Casbar. I mainly bought it because who doesn't love the Clash, right? You ever rock the Casbar? I'm about to rock the Casbar. Oh, well, yeah, that's a delightful time. What you got here is basically a Swiss cake roll, but they've eliminated the layers. So it's the chocolate and the cake layer with the cream, and then they've added a little bit of caramel inside there. But there's like little bits of cookie that are kind of crunchy that are really giving it a little pizzazz, you know. And it's the world's most glorious Little Debbie is what it is. The good people at Hostess have done it again. So Hostess, if you want to send me and everybody in the chat like a whole bunch of Casbahs, we're cool with it. Sharif don't mind it. For those of you who have a mukbang kink, there you go. That's free for you. Our friend Matt says the faculty Halloween hair that Josh Hartnett has is so unique. It shouldn't work, but it does. That is a beautiful soliloquy to Josh Hartnett's hair. I like it. Never heard of Casbar, and I'm pro Fat Boy. Yeah, I know. These are brand new to me. I'm obviously familiar with the, like I had to grab these guys. Like everybody knows the orange cupcake. So the Casbar jumped out at me. If I would have known it was this good, I probably would have got 2 of these instead of the cupcakes. But yeah, definitely a fun time. You can see even the gooey caramel in there. So send me and Mr. Bones some free Casbars, Hostess. I actually send everybody, even Pugwall across the seas. Let him blow everybody's mind. I don't know, it's just me, but I feel like most snack cakes haven't tasted the same. I can't even enjoy them properly when I'm baked. Well, but the being baked usually takes the edge off everything. Like, oh, thank God, that's so much better. But yeah, this one's incredibly chocolatey. I will say that you got to be a big chocolate person. But in general, this one's relatively fresh. Most snack cakes I find to be a little dry, so this one's not too bad. Love most American candy. I had one the other day, white taffy with peanut inside. Weird, but I think I liked it. I'm not familiar with what that would be. It sounds fun. Sorry, it's hard to adjust my hat in the. I don't know. Yeah, I love the sharp teeth of the vampires. That's a great look for them. And then they're covered in blood, and because their skin is so white and cold, it makes the blood look extra scary. And they'd have like these black contact lenses. So they have an incredibly distinctive, kind of Nosferatu-ish look. They look like tougher vampires than your usual vampires. They're more akin to a zombie, I say. Pro Fat Boy is awesome. I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, can I make that into a shirt? I just steal all of your guys' ideas and make that into my new Teespring. Get your Pro Fat Boy shirt. Get your Wings Week shirt. Get your Bones and Hobbs Tag Team World Champions shirt. Echo Zero in your program, number one in your heart. I don't know. Are these all things I can steal and use? Oh, go on. I'm smart enough to cover it up with clothes, but underneath it's a terrible mudslide. I used to, when I was young, I was very skinny because of the long body. My body's supposed to look like Kevin Durant or whatever, like big, long, gangly. So to not be hurt all the time, I had to lift a lot of weights and stuff. But because of that, my body's just all goofy and gangly. So it's always weird and under progress. I'm not a fan of mine. It works. It gets me where I need to go. I'm digging this. Like the people in the town have gathered into an attic, and there's like this Anne Frank kind of thing where they're all hiding out from the vampires and freaking out. Josh Hartnett once again acting his ass off, giving some stern, square-jawed leadership. Not a boy, Josh Hartnett. Ad break in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like that there's a countdown. I wasn't noticing that. In the bottom corner, when they show exteriors, it'll say like day whatever. I saw day 7 go by right before the commercial. So I guess we're going to get all 30 days of night. God bless us. Shit. Blood smears in the snow, similar to wings smearing blood on white walls. Artie. See, he knows. Pugwall gets it. He knows the stuff I'm looking for. Like I was a skinny kid too. My mom was an Elvis fan, so recommended cream cakes to bulk me up. Oh, have you ever had the fried peanut butter and banana sandwich? Ooh, that's a good one, man. That was Elvis's personal favorite. God damn it. There we go. Elvis, I think one of the main reasons he died is he just always ate such crap food and never ate any vegetables. And like, I guess from taking all those opioids, his stomach was just filled with poop. Like he never pooped. So Elvis was killed by no vegetables more than anything else. Lamonia says, well, it's certainly better than 40 days and 40 nights. It is, both in time conservancy, because it's not as long, and 40 days and 40 nights is a bit of a rascally adventure. That's a weird movie. Like a dude who just gets laid so much that taking 40 days off just is worth a plot of a whole movie. He's like an unlikable character right from the jump. Don't tell Harrison. Being 6'8", oh, you make an awesome Jason Voorhees. Actually, because I like to go to horror conventions and stuff, right? One time, Dee Wallace was arguing with Scout Taylor Compton that Dee Wallace thought I was the same height as Tyler Maine. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Tyler's way taller. He's like 6'10" or whatever. And Dee's like, I've stood next to you both. So then the bald guy who played Jason in the newer, the Platinum Dunes remake or whatever, someone was like, come stand next to this guy. Sometimes it sucks being a giant. People just like use you for weird arguments and photo ops. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to graze around like a giraffe. This was an announcement from the Vegetal Marketing Board. Exactly. You know what I mean? Get some roughage in your diet so you don't die in the shitter like Elvis. Derek Mears, you know Derek Mears. See, that a boy, Mr. Bones. He always knows the good shit. I vote Derek Mears for See No Evil 3. Totally. I went to wrestling once and saw Kane. Kane is definitely taller than me, for sure. Now we're seeing the vampires jump from rooftop to rooftop, and it's some scary shit. I'm digging this. Like, it's been a good long time. I saw it when it first came out, and I enjoyed it. And somehow I have the DVD and I think like 2 different versions of the Blu-ray. Like, is there some sort of weird steelbook or some shit that? Because I often got gifted a lot of DVDs when people didn't want physical media anymore. So I think I might have like 2 Blu-rays of this for some reason, but I know I for sure have the 1 DVD and at least 1 Blu-ray. Yeah, these vamps are great. I like their look. They got kind of like a dead-eyed shark face. They look more like sharks than they look like vampires, but they're kind of awesome. So yeah, to see that only the cult fans dig it is kind of interesting to me. Seems like it would have found more of an audience. I think Derek looks similar to Kane in the face. Now I want to. I've never seen Silent, or what do you call it? See No Evil 3. I never saw 2. I liked 1. I thought 1 was pretty good. And then I had part 2 in my queue like forever. I kept thinking, oh, I'll get around to it. And then did they maybe pull all those WWE movies and move them to the WWE network? Is that what happened? Because a bunch of them disappeared. Like, they used to be floating around pretty commonly because they were such cheap filler for these streaming networks. I know Matt's a big fan of Money Plane, which isn't a WWE movie, but kind of is. Like, it feels like one. It's just not produced by the WWE brand. Poop, I got 40 Days and 40 Nights mixed up with the Ford Hayes film. What is that called? What the hell is that called? I know what you're talking about. Is that called 40 Days? Or is there another one called 40 Days? I do remember the Anne Heche and Harrison Ford trapped on a deserted island. And if we can't get Derek Mears, I vote Michael Bailey Smith. At no point are you voting me. What the fuck, Bones? I thought we were boys. Jacob Goodnight. Yeah. You need to see 2. It has Danielle Harris and Catherine Isabel. Oh, well, shit. I'm a Danielle Harris fan like almost horror fans are. She's pretty awesome. I love that names that are statements or instructions. Jacob Goodnight. I think that's a good horror movie name. It's spooky. It's memorable. I still like Mr. Dark's from Mr. Dark's Emporium or whatever it's called from Something Wicked This Way Comes. Obviously Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. They're all memorable, iconic names that stick in your head. So I think Jacob Goodnight kind of sticks. Leprechaun. Nobody ever forgets Leprechaun's name. Let me see here. Like footballer Danny Drinkwater. That's like a good porno name. Well, I ain't voting you because you ain't ugly. Oh, you get out of here, you. Give me. Mr. Bones, you and your cool ass accent. Yeah, I like the terror going on in this movie. Like, 'cause I remember they're in the dark town. Everything's pitch black. The vampires show up. It's snowing and cold, so you can't be outside too long. It adds tension. So I remembered all of that being good and fun, but I forgot how much is just like the vampires overrunning everything and the like sheer desperation. Yeah, this feels almost like a shark movie. A pretty damn good shark movie. I never saw the sequel. What's it called? Dark Days or something like that. I know there's a part 2. I never got around to it. Dark Days. Yeah. I never saw it. It's rated really bad. 4.3 on IMDb. So, yeah, never got around to that one. Here, one of Josh Hartnett's homies got turned into a vampire, so he's attacking him. It's the first time we've seen a change. So I guess, maybe you even think they are zombies at first. But really, I've had this discussion before. What is the difference between any of these things? A zombie, a vampire? It's like, well, a zombie's undead and a vampire's undead. And a zombie eats blood. And it's like, yeah, and vampire are other way around. Vampires eat blood and zombies like flesh. It's all kind of the same thing. It's just human monsters that are coming to eat you, that tap into our deep-rooted fear of dying. What's scarier than a dead body, Apparently a dead body that's also a shark. Wow, that was a cool scene. He axed his buddy to death with a big axe, and he got tangled up in a swing set. So the vampire guy is all dangling there like a marionette, bleeding out into the snow, and it made like this real crazy. I'm wondering if they're pulling the Zack Snyder. One of my issues with Zack Snyder is he just he works his way to do iconic shots from the comic book. And they jump out at you right away when you see them. It's almost like a freeze frame. Like, look, I got that iconic shot up on screen. So that shot almost looked like something that was at one point in a graphic novel or a comic book or something. It's a pretty damn cool shot, though. Okay, now they have to go back out and ruin it so that we get the same shot again. He says, "Garsh, you and your southern accent." Let's see. You're talking about Darius the Rumble, the Grouch the Third. Oh, that's a good one. The Rumble. Been a minute since I watched Dark and remember being all right, but not as good as the first. Yeah, I don't know. I never saw part 2. Like I said, I remember it being out. I think I saw it go by on one of them streaming channels and thought I should probably check it out at some point. But yeah, never got around to it. But I'm digging the whole thing where the town is so small that they know each other and they can kind of hole up. And there was a part where we saw one of them was kind of ratting them out to the vampires. And like I said, it's kind of an Anne Frank thing. I know that's tacky to make a comparison to, but that's the easiest way to describe it. They're all hide up in this attic trying to avoid these evil monsters from attacking them and killing them. Pugwall says he feels Kelsey Grammer wanted all them names and money playing. Meanwhile, Thomas Jane has cigars, slippers, and sitting down in his contract. That's a good contract to have. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer kind of steals the show in Money Plane. Well, the Kelsey Grammer and Edge, I feel like. Thomas Jane is just sort of there. Right? Isn't Joey Lawrence maybe in it too? It's been a minute since I've seen Money Plane. I saw that one on whatever, right after it came out, and everybody was like, you got to see Money Plane. It's absurd. But anyways, our friend Matt has a video about money playing on his channel right now. So be sure to check out Pugwall316 as well. Check out Mr. Bones, friends of the channel, as well as Echo Zero and Horror Cat Dad Video Tasties. Our friend Dave from Savage Zombie Reviews. He's always awesome. Go check out Dave. Dave, cool. You know what's cool is Jim's Retro Emporium. Shout out my friend Jim. Jim's cool as hell. I like Jim. I'm thinking of people I don't normally shout out. John Franklin Reviewer, my first YouTube friend. Shout out to John Franklin Reviewer. Pugwall says Joey Lawrence is the concierge. Oh, but he can't pronounce it though. Well, that's awesome. Concierge. Yeah, once again, I'm really enjoying the cinematography. Like every shot is really a pretty shot. It starts off with a bunch of like glorious prestige shots, like it's sunset and stuff, like golden hour. So I felt like there's a whole bunch of effort into making good cinematography. So I don't really get, I mean, the story pacing seems decent. Like, is that what they're talking about being uneven? Because I felt like that's what I was going to see when the vampires first show up, to kind of see like the beats of how long before we get our first vampire appearance or whatever. This is really cool. Oh boy, here's got like a 5 o'clock shadow of blood. Like it's just a total beard blood. Bloodbeard? Bloodbeard. Yeah, sorry. I flip-flopped those words. Bloodbeard would be a good pirate name. Pugwall says, when they remove the memory stick with the crypto on it, it's a bare naked lady CD. Anyways, enough money plans. Wasn't there like alligator wrestling or some shit? I remember they at one point, like on the plane, they had like a live lizard or some shit. And I was just like, this movie has jumped the shark, except it's jumped the lizard. All right, enough about that. We're back to 30 Days of Night. It's 3:20 in the morning, my time, 4:20 Eastern. So shout out to those people. Wow, there's another really cool shot that looks like it's probably from a comic book. We see the main street of their little small Alaskan town, and there's just bodies littered. And because it's snowy, you know, each one looks like a little red blood splatter. So you don't need like a close up gross shot. Wow, that was a tongue twister. You don't need that because the red splotch kind of implies it looks like modern art almost. Looks like Jackson Pollock. I love 30 Days of Money Plane. Is that the one with Anne Heche and Harrison Ford? Bring it all full circle. I like this. They're weathered. Like I had mentioned, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I already forgot her name. We're gonna break up. Melissa George, Stella is her character. That's her name. Sorry, that's what I was trying to think of. Stella, I had mentioned, no, she's really pretty. And as the movie's wearing on, and they've had to like avoid the vampires, and they're hiding out in the attic, like yeah, she looks like she's been surviving in a war. Like her face is dirty and her makeup's all kind of messed up and stuff. Like they really kind of set me up with the glamour shot up front, so you can see her. This is all taking a toll on her. Whew, that was pretty good. They had a nice little suspense beat moment there. I was enjoying it. But yeah, it's weird that I saw this is on Max, so you can stream it there, but it's also on Tubi. I'm at the 104.08 mark. So there was approximately 50 minutes left, 50 minutes left. I don't know exactly what day we're on. Give me the wind howling. Give me the day. No. Wow, that's a really cool shot. They're the people have come out of the attic and they're using the cover of snow, like the blizzard conditions, and there's just these shadows. A lot of this looks like Storm of the Century, like we were talking about earlier with Demonia. Melissa George is pretty in Home and Away. Aussie Soap. I remember from my neighborhood. Teen Days Sploosh. Oh boy, I retract the sploosh. You should. You should. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Yeah, I can't believe that this is. Let's see what. Let's look at some 1-star 30 Days of Night reviews. Say, we'll mock these fools. Let me see. Let me get some reviews. The questions. My favorite of the Google questions: is 30 Days of Night a real thing? Yeah, well, I mean, the concept is, but not so much the vampires, you dullard. Let me look at the audience reviews. There are 4.2 out of 5, overwhelmingly 5 stars. Let me see. Yeah, the Google crowd gets it. Let me see some 1-star reviews. What a horrible movie. From the first frame, it's obvious that it takes itself way too seriously. Leaden dialogue, uninteresting characters, poor editing and pacing, boring script, nothing memorable at all about the cinematography, which is what I've been raving on. Worst of all, no atmosphere, suspense to speak of, except the whole movie is literally taking place in the cold atmosphere, and there's nothing but suspense, you jackass. The only horror is that a movie as insufferably bland as this gets welcomed as a great addition to the vampire genre. I would give it a score of 0 if I could, but it's not possible to do that on here. So Jade from 2 years ago was very pissed. Troy says movie was very boring, no suspense, nothing to keep you on edge of seat. Extremely, spelled wrong, hard to understand. Haha, irony. I have watched it twice and still don't know what's happening. How dumb. Do I have to explain the tilt of the earth? See, there's an axis in the sun. Never mind. Too many episodes of Archer. You duck, dullard. Yes, I'm very upset with the people who were mad at the 30 Days of Night 2 years ago. I'm having a beef through time. Oh my God, vampire little girl. Yeah, she's scary as hell with the pigtails. I forgot about her. She's she stole the show real quick. Great idea for a child costume for Halloween. The vampire child from 30 Days of Night. Not since Salem's Lot have I been this disturbed by a child vampire. The little boy in Lost Boys. I find him an intriguing little boy vampire. I would like to know his backstory. I want a prequel about him. I like your reviews. My review reviews. Yeah, that's my new gimmick. My review reviews. We'll find people who think the movie we're watching really sucks, and then we'll talk about how they're idiots. That's what they get. I think they were all going through personal stuff. They took it out on this poor movie. See, that's one of the things that's a very astute observation right there, Demonia, right on. I point that out all the time with reviewing movies and critics and stuff. Imagine you worked for like some place where you had to review movies because you had to write a review. So it's like, go see this movie and then have the review done by Thursday or whatever. So that morning you have a fight with the person you live with, or like someone runs into your car in a parking lot, but you still have to go see the damn movie because that's part of your job. Like, how could you not hate a movie when your personal life, you know what I mean? Like, we have the freedom of watching stuff when we want to watch stuff, and like, oh, I'm not in the mood for that today, so I'm not going to watch it. But, critics kind of have to watch stuff so they can get their articles or whatever in. So a lot of times, like, I can't believe that their lives don't affect their opinions on things. I've seen stuff that I hated, and then I look back and it's like, well, yeah, I was in the middle of fighting with my girlfriend, and I ended up like, being short on money that week. So it was frustrating. And, you're watching a movie. It's like, well, no wonder you hated it. You weren't thinking about the movie at all. Oh, now they're trying to figure out how to bring the sun out. Apparently, they didn't hear my whole dissertation on the axis of the Earth. See, the sun is at the center of the universe. It's a giant mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace, if you will. Um, and then, never mind. I don't have time. Let the right one in would be a good. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I love Let the Right One In. I thought about doing it actually. It's on Tubi as well. That's probably the best child vampire. Not terrifying though. I don't find that child terrifying. I find it kind of cool. The way they failed making the carpenter a dream man, they succeed in making that little girl vampire a dream woman. Like, oh, if only an eternally old small child would show up and save me from bullies. You know, Edward Cullen, creepy as hell. It's like, why are you 100 years old and hollering at high school girls? That like eternally old child that's hooking up with that little boy, totally fine with it. Makes perfect sense to me. It's a double standard, I tell you. Dawn remake has cool little girl zombie. Yeah, yeah, that is the one at the beginning, when they're in the hallway and she attacks her. Yeah, I do like that one. That's a Milwaukee movie. My friend Pugwall was asking about Wisconsin and various movies that take place here, so you could get some idea of the area I'm in. Um, uh, yeah, Wayne's World goes to Milwaukee. The Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead takes place in Milwaukee. Um, uh, in Home Alone, John Candy's part of the Kenosha Kickers, a polka band, right? I just moved from Kenosha. That's where I lived. I was a Kenosha kicker. I was kicking it in Kenosha. Um, Happy Days, the entire series run. Laverne and Shirley. Any of this ringing a bell with you? um, all those guys from those, Bill Murray, John Candy, all them, like that area is real close to Milwaukee and all that. Like the northern suburbs in Wisconsin are so very close that they learn all that. On Instagram, I posted a picture. I went to the hotel, one of the hotels from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, because it's just like right down the road from me. It's on the way to the weed dispensary. So now the townspeople are going through the town. They got the flamethrowers, and the vampires are jumping off the roof down at them. And it's total like video game. This would be an awesome game. I would play this. The vampires are, yeah, I call them like zombies because they chew into the neck and they just get so bloody and like way more bloody than a normal vampire movie. It's kind of awesome. Like it feels more violent. Like I said, they look like sharks more than vampires. It's cool. Oh, Pepsi Milk. You know what's up with Laverne and Shirley. Of course Bones does. That's pro fat boy stuff right there. Pugwall says he's got to go to work, make the dog get out of bed, etc. Compare the light one end to the carpenter is why I love you. Straight on to polka, polka, polka. Take care, guys. Be safe. Oh, Pugwall, you're the man, buddy. Yeah, I knew I would tie it all together for you. Is there really a Stan Makita Donuts anywhere around there? Oh, no, I wish. I'm surprised they don't make one. Just like somebody doesn't try to get the rights to it, just because there's money to be made. Technically, Haddonfield, Illinois. It's not a real town, but it's supposed to be like around the area I grew up in. Same with Shermer, Illinois, and all the Breakfast Club and all that. Like that's supposed to be the area I grew up in like the northern suburbs of Chicago. But then I moved even more north to Wisconsin because I get sick of people. The older I get, the more I want them less around me. Eventually, I want 30 days of night to happen. I want to be so alone, I'm primed for a vampire attack. That's my ultimate goal. Demonia says, have a good work, Pug. Yeah, exactly. Harold Haddonfield's in New Jersey, where I live. Yeah, I know. I've seen the actually, I think Friday the 13th is too. I think Camp Crystal Lake is in New Jersey, isn't it? Like New Jersey's the secret horror home. Same with Pennsylvania. I think there's like a creepy area of Pennsylvania where like a bunch of actual, horror movies are filmed and everything. Yeah, I'm gonna follow Pugs out the door. I'm tired. Take care, Don Zombie. Bone, you rule. You get a sloppy hand heart. Yeah. Yeah, we're wrapping it up here soon. Josh Hartnett's he's already losing part of his crew, and the vampires are just like swarming. So we're at the 1:15 mark. So there's probably a good half hour left. So yeah, I may have another snack here. I may eat these. I may eat those orange cupcakes any second. Actually, yeah, I'll wait till I'm done. I think I have leftover Taco Bell. Nothing like a microwave burrito. A lot of creepy suspense in this. I'm digging it. And which is so funny because those 1-star reviews are like, there's no suspense. That's my voice of dumb people. There's no suspense. The camp where the first movie is filmed and located in Blairstown, New Jersey. Look at that. And then when the Blair Witch, it all ties together. I think Burkittsville, Maryland is now like a horror film tour destination. I think people actually like go there. Yeah, this lead vampire is stealing the show. Like Hartnett is doing a good job, and he's clearly the above the title name, Um, but yeah, this dude, his acting is just stealing it. Danny Houston. What else you been in, Danny? As long as things are chill. Let me see what you've been in here. I know you from all sorts of stuff. He's on Succession, Yellowstone. I'm trying to think of the movies he's been in that I recognize. Oh, he's in Wonder Woman, American Horror Story, the Hitchcock movie. I've been meaning to watch that actually. Robin Hood, the Russell Crowe version. Edge of Darkness, X-Men's Origins Wolverines as Stryker. That's where I know you from. Okay, I knew I'd seen you before. I was like, you're military looking as hell. Oh, and he's Samuel Adams. He's John Adams' cousin in the John Adams miniseries. That's a really good miniseries. He was in the number 23, Children of Men, The Aviator. Yeah, he had a real strong run in the early thousands. That's when I was watching a bunch of movies, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, there you go. That makes sense that I would know him from then. And he was in Leaving Las Vegas as bartender number 2. Yeah, I'm digging the now it's going to handheld. I think maybe that's what they're talking about, erratic. Like the early shots were very locked down, like on tripods or dollies and stuff. And now everything's very shaky cam and erratic. But that would just be part of the vampires attacking. Like it doesn't have jack to do with like inconsistent filmmaking choices. It's the opposite. It's a choice. This shaky cam for action scenes was like super popular in this era, like the early thousands into the, actually they use it a lot now still. Born Identity really kind of made that the way to go. I'm assuming they stole it from some old kung fu movie or something, but yeah, the fight scenes in the Born Identity are all handheld, shaky cam, like extra fast cut, and that's how all the zombie attacks or whatever vampire attacks in this are. Oh, the vampires were all holed up in the saloon, and the Josh Hartnett blew them all up. So there's like flaming zombies jumping out, or Jesus Christ, flaming vampires jumping out of windows. See, they have such a. The only thing that isn't zombie about them is that they're like sentient. They're clearly making choices and outsmarting the humans and stuff. The mindlessness, I guess, would be the biggest difference. Oh shit! Yeah, Danny Houston just stomped that guy's head in. Cold-blooded. Huh, I dig that too. Josh Hartnett's walking back to the police station like totally defeated, like a beaten man, just carrying an axe through the snow. Like that's some artful, like some artsy imagery. Huh. I claim BS. Let's see. Where's another 1-star review? I'm so mad that I listened to people who said this was a good movie. The acting, bland characters, and terrible pacing make this a very boring and unenjoyable watch. It's so disappointing because it's such a cool setup for a vampire movie, but I'd personally give this one a skip, not worth boring over yourself. Wow, you really were pissed off, Matthew. Hope you got over that. Okay, this has got to be one. Okay, that has got to be one the most annoying version species of vampire I ever saw. Even the story is annoying and cringeworthy. Ellipses. The only thing that is good in this movie was Josh Hartnett's acting and presumably his hair. So yeah, well, there's a lot of folks with a 1-star rating out there who probably should get out, maybe try to get a hug. As far as a trapped in the snow movie, I think this is kind of a big winner. You know, if you got a snow day as a kid for high school and you watch 30 Days of Night, I think you're happy with the result. You know, for it being in the middle of the night and it's freezing outside and I'm in the middle of my winter and stuff. Yeah, this one fits perfectly for me. So its purpose as well as its execution appeared to be on par with what I was looking for. Gosh darn it. It is 3:40 in the morning Central Time as I'm watching this at 4:40 Eastern Time, and do the math on wherever you are otherwise. Now they're holed up in the jail. I remember this part too, because this part felt a lot like Assault on Precinct 13, because it's an old-timey jail. Oh no, we were watching this dude. This is kind of a cool scene. One of the people who's holed up with him is giving this big speech about, you know, his life and his motivations, just background character crap. But we see his teeth changing as he's talking, and the camera is doing a like a slow pan across the room, of like focusing on his close up. So we're just straight up seeing him transform as the camera moves. Um, as far as dynamic on-screen transformations, that's pretty damn good, because the camera movement distracts you a bit from any errors that might, you know, anything that would make you be like, that looks so fake. Yeah, bravo to that too. So now they're holed up in this jail, and one of the people they're with is already pretty much just turned into a vampire. Stuff's about to get real, bro. Mhm. Yeah, once again, heavy on the blue. Lots of blue coloring, both in the filter and the paint. Of course, the police station is all painted blue inside, and the lead woman is crashed down. Stella, I keep forgetting her name. Stella is crashed down in the corner in the blue wall. You know, the same thing we discussed with the Dead Zone when we watched that watch along. The color palette and the choices of the cinematographer as well as the set designer and the costumers and everybody. It's all very intentionally blue and gray. It's supposed to make you feel cold when you watch it. So we're at day 27 out of 30 days of night, presumably. But this is all, yeah. The cinematography is super impressive. I dig it. I don't care. I don't care what these bad critics say. Let's eat a cupcake. Actually, I want to have a chip in their honor. Nothing sounds better on audio than chips. Mm-hmm. Great moments in audio history. I do think the 153 runtime is probably a little long on this. Obviously, you have to stretch it for 30 days. You know what I mean? You have to try to get it to, like, you can't just breeze by the days. Like, we went from day 0 to day 7 real quick. And then they went from like day 7 to day 17 pretty quick. But then day 17 to 27 like took a minute. But now we're here at the very end. So yeah, I think they could kind of, I don't know if it's a pacing issue like the one dumb dude said, but I would say that it is probably stretched for runtime. Around this time, a lot of theater owners wanted the movies to be 2 hours because they were charging so much per theater ticket that the audiences were complaining about short movies. If you paid $10 to go see a movie and it's an hour and 20 minutes, you're pissed. So then I think the problem is a lot of modern movies are now too long because of it. Anything more than 2 hours is, unless you're telling some epic movie, it's just too long. So this 153 isn't too bad, but a generic vampire movie is usually, it should be an hour and 40, let's say. But the people in this get to act well. You know what I mean? Like, they have stuff to do. There's character arcs. We've seen a bunch of cool transformations. The vampires themselves are like real menacing and scary. But I don't know if they're, like, if I saw someone dressed up as a vampire from this, like at a Halloween party, I don't know if I would recognize what they were supposed to be. But then again, I don't know. Yeah, I suppose if somebody was dressed up like Sex Machine from Dusk Till Dawn, I would know what they were. But yeah, none of these vampires I don't think I would recognize. Maybe. It'd be close. If somebody was bald and they had the 5 o'clock shadow and they had the blood beard, maybe. I like that oh no, there's a little silhouette of a child. That once again looks like another comic book panel. There's a small child out walking along the snowy streets, and we can see she's covered in blood. But once they do the close-up, we can see she's fine. She's just traumatized. She's got like a Carrie thing going on where she's just completely soaked in blood, but her eyes are all bright white. Yeah, this is all great, powerful filmmaking. I mean, I'm sure some of it is taken from the comic books that this is based on, but some of the wide shots are just really impressive and beautiful. Yeah, so we're basically just at a, all movies play to this part where the main hero and the main woman that we like, and now they've got this like, blood-covered adopted child, their little version of Newt. And they're all hiding underneath the thing. So it's playing to the point where the people we care about are the only ones left. We've kind of whittled down the folks who are less important to the story. But these shots are all still just killing it. Like, this one's a slow pan across this dude, and while he's freezing, and there's, a bunch of snow falling behind him and everything. It's all very cinematic and artsy. Lots of silhouettes, lots of shadow, beams of light because of the darkness. Although I'm agreeing with all the choices, I don't get it. But yeah, if you're still watching at this point later on in the future, either on the podcast or on the replay, be sure to put in the comments what you think about this movie. Is it are the critics too rough on it? Is the general consensus wrong? Do you think it's shifting? Like, I feel like opinion on this is shifting. Like, all the people I would talk to enjoy this movie, but I think at the time, a lot of folks kind of maybe felt like I felt. It came out relatively close to the same time as the Thing remake, I believe, When was this? This was 2007. When was the thing remake? 2011. So 4 years. That's not enough to really complain about it. But yeah, I don't know. It just sort of went under the radar for what it should have been. The cool idea for a movie. Oh, we're getting a Tubi ad break. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I'm gonna get a cupcake. Really should have got a second Casbar. I fucked up. Yeah, it's interesting to see modern commercials. Like I say, I never catch them. So, like this is clearly just some sort of bad credit card commercial. The one before it was for a Mexican restaurant I'd never heard of. But in general, the commercial breaks aren't bad. They're usually less than a minute. They often hit you with like 2 or 3. As I pointed out, this is also available on Netflix. So those of you watching, interested in watching along, can let me get cozy here. Now this is a commercial for the state of Wisconsin Department of Corrections jobs. What do you guys think? You think I should go get a job and become a prison guard? I bet that's a safe job. Shit. Oh, Domino's. I can respect that. That's something we all understand. Cheap pizza is always cool. Yeah. Get on with it. Enough of your pushing pizza. Let me get some vampire death. So there's 1:29:39 on the clock. So approximately 20 minutes left in this one before credits. Well, about 18 before credit. Yeah, once again, Danny Houston just stealing the show. He's giving his little speeches and soliloquies to the other vampires and like rousing them, explaining how they've been held down for centuries and stuff. You know what? There was also not only the Twilight stuff around this time, but there was also the underworld stuff. So I think this might have been a oversaturated vampire market. I think that might be the problem. Just so much vampire bandwidth. People can only absorb so much. My man here who has lost his mind looks so much like James Brolin from Amityville Horror. Which I'm sure he gets that all the time. He's in the grocery store in Alaska and they're like, hey, you look like James Brolin from Amityville Horror. He's like, yeah, things are going bad. Take a hint. Yeah, Josh Hartnett he's doing a great job in this. Like I say, he seems like a guy I wouldn't like, or his work wouldn't be something that I would think is fine. But every time I've ever seen him, he's doing a good job. Like, I mean, I never saw the Harrison Ford, what's it called, Hollywood Homicide. I never saw that. And then I never saw 40 Days or 40 Nights or whatever. That was completely. Same with what's old boy Jerry O'Connell when he did like Tomcats or whatever. Like the attempt to make a raunchy sex comedy after American Pie was not anything I was interested in. Yeah, all of these vampires are just covered. They like a lot of them have bald heads and they just have bloody beards. And then their necks are all just covered in blood. They look so gross. Like it helps. There's nothing clean and suave and debonair about them. No sparkly vampires here. So we're at I'm assuming like the power plant where they're keeping, because we're at a metal a grate factory. All these movies love to end at a steamy factory with a bunch of grinding machines and gears. Oh man! So Billy got his arm chewed up by the gears, and he is just bleeding all over the place. So Amityville horror is totally going on. So we saw one vampire get pushed into the moving gears, and now we're seeing the friend who looks like James Brolin. Oh man, he got bit by a vampire, so Josh Hartnett had to chop his head off with an axe, and he's crying while he's doing it. This is Oscar worthy. Although that was terrible continuity there. His face was completely covered in blood, and then they cut back to him and it was almost empty. And then they cut back to a different shot and they cut back again and it was like kind of half covered and then like blood underneath his nose. So yeah, it was a bad continuity on the blood splatter there. See, I'm a fair critic. Yeah, the power plant shot is awesome. Every time they show it, it looks like Axis Chemicals from Batman or something. It looks like some sort of weird modern or like turn of the century Art Deco building. It looks crazy. Yeah, these folks have all been hiding out from the vampires for a month now, so they're all just so dirty and covered in their clothes are all. What are they doing? They've been hiding in an attic. How do your face get filthy? I don't know, dust, I guess. I don't know. I'm not trying to judge their pain. Who knows what they've been through? I haven't seen the things they've seen. Well, actually, I have. I've been watching the movie, so never mind. So we are approaching 4 a.m. Central, 5 a.m. Eastern, and we're having the true late night owl watch along. Sometimes I remember as a kid, I would watch movies and I would just be up seeing like the sun come up, and I'm like, oh, I can only get 3 hours of sleep now. Okay, I can only get 2 hours of sleep now. And you're just like laying in bed, tossing and turning, put on a movie. That's how I've seen so many of these damn movies. It's like I can't sleep at night. My body doesn't wants to be up while the moon's out. So I would just be up watching these strange B movies about vampires and monsters till I would see the sun peek through the windows. Hard to believe I never really liked school that much, huh? Like exhausted every single day. So Josh Hartnett is acting his ass off. He's doing this like slow speech through the walkie-talkie to Stella, and she's slowly dying in the snow. This is like almost this. It's almost like a World War II vibe to it. I was joking about Anne Frank earlier, but that's what it feels like. It's more of a survivor movie than it is a vampire movie. So you could take this same thing and just add zombies instead of vampires and keep everything else. Um, didn't True Blood also come around this time? Yeah, a lot of vampires around that time. The Twilight craze really got people's attention, but also Blade was such a success, and then the Underworld movies I think were kind of uh, birthed from the Blade success. People were like, we need something like that. But there was like a bunch of vampire movies around that time. They remade Salem's Lot with Rob Lowe. They There was one called Night Watch. That was this Russian movie about vampires and werewolves, I believe. Um, yeah, they kind of oversaturated the market with the vampires there. Same here. There's something comforting about being up at this time when most people are fast asleep. Yeah, I'm always wide awake at 4 and 5 in the morning. Actually, about the time the sun starts to come up is when I'll start getting tired. I'm on the complete opposite schedule of other people. Like when the sun's up is when I'm exhausted, and then when the moon's out, I'm just wide awake. Like you can see. But like I was saying earlier, I always remember, there's always a good movie on TNT or TBS or HBO, and sometimes on a weekend night you can get Rhonda Shear or Gilbert Godfrey or Joe Bob Briggs or any of them late night movie hosts to keep me company and stuff. So it's like kind of do the same thing. Watch a crazy ass movie and talk about these vampires overrunning this Alaskan town. But I thank you for hanging out, Limonia. You are awesome. So Josh Hartnett has had enough. He's just like he's gonna go kick vampire ass. Hilarious. His buddy's body that he had to chop the head off with an axe is just like laying there, and every now and then they cut to it almost as like a goof effect. So basically, this dude, Josh Hartnett, he invents like a vampire vaccine, for lack of a better term. So I'm sure nowadays is probably that's where a bunch of the 1-star reviews came from, is the anti-vax crowd. Um, he basically, he gets the blood from a guy who was bitten but never turned, and then uses the blood as like a vaccine to keep himself immune from the vampire bites, which is sketchy science at best. Actually, Josh Hartnett was also a vampire, I believe, in Penny Dreadful. Is that what he was in? And as I recall, he was very good in that. It's a very dramatic scene where Josh Hartnett has like injected the vampire serum and everybody's crying. No wonder this is almost a 2-hour movie. There's some heavy duty pathos here. Wow, yeah, Josh Hartnett has pretty much turned. He's got the black vampire eyes. So I think his serum theory is probably, yeah, he's going out there to fight the vampires. Best of luck to you, Josh. No wonder he moved to Minnesota after this. He's just like, enough. I can't take it with these vampires anymore. Oh yeah, now he's got the big sharp teeth. So this ain't a vampire serum. He's just straight up fully vamped out, and he's gonna go. He's gonna go get it on. But I like how he put his hood up so that way we can use a stunt double. Whole town's on fire. All the vampire. Wow, that's a great shot. There's a small pack of vampires, and they all turn and kind of look at Josh Hartnett, but you can see the whole town is just on fire. So it's like a small little neighborhood, but you can see in every direction just the flames. Another really cool shot. I bet it was taken from a comic book. Huh. Now he's probably dealing with some cryptids in the Midwest. Exactly. That's the same thing I'm on. I feel him. Don't be stealing my gig, Josh Hartnett. Wow, Danny Houston is whooping Josh Hartnett's ass. Like everybody's kind of gathered around in a circle. It's like that scene in Dune where they let him fight. But it's been a minute since I've seen this. I keep just being entranced by the overall like visual Like the composition, the cinematography is what jumps out at me more than anything. That's why when people said they didn't like the way it looked, I'm like, what are you talking about? Have you watched an Asylum movie before? How about The Incredible Bulk? Have you seen The Incredible Bulk? Or is it The Amazing Bulk? I get them confused. Yeah, the main vampire, the Danny Houston, he steals it. He's just like, every time they cut to him, the whole movie becomes about him. Yeah, this is cool. They're all gathered around in a circle and they're just watching them fight it out. Like, I completely forgot about this ending. This is wild. Ooh, broke Josh Hartnett's hand. Yeah, this is all very, oh shit. Yeah, I got caught for the surprise. Uh, the leader of the vampires dove at Josh Hartnett, and Josh Hartnett punched right into his mouth and ripped his brains out. Like, wow, wasn't expecting that to happen. Well, you're in charge of the vampires now. They have to follow your lead. That's how it works. I don't think it really is. Oh, the sun is coming out. You've made it all 30 days. I forgot this movie actually had a point. Oh, yeah, the sun. Now that shot right there of the whole town on fire, and it's like in this beautiful like landscape shot. I mean, I'm sure some of it's like kind of sketchy CGI, but no, that looks great. Those people who said that this doesn't have good cinematography are foolish as hell. But you have to ask yourself, if everyone in town died and the whole town burned to the ground, and there's this whole pack of vampires left, I feel like the good guys didn't win. I feel like the good guys survived to live to another day, but the bad guys pretty much won. Team bad guy. Yeah, because Josh Hartnett's a vampire now, so he can't go home with Stella. Oh, this whole thing is a debacle. Yeah, so now they're sitting on a beautiful icy mountaintop overlooking the ocean as the sun comes up, and it's all pink. What do you mean no cinematography? That's probably the best part of the movie. I'm just angry. I'm angry at this point. I'm going to go find those people at the 1-star review and I'm going to write them a stern letter. Limonia says she's pleasantly surprised with this movie. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I thought it was decent, but I don't remember it being like great. But now when I watch it this time, I'm like, it's a good ride. It's got a lot of action in it. It's got the whole vampire thing. It's got a little love story. There's, like I said, there's this weird kind of like World War II kind of thing where their town is overrun by these villains. And now there's this like Romeo and Juliet kind of ending. Well, not so much. He burns up in the sunlight while she holds him. It's kind of half romantic, but yeah, he just turns to flame or he turns to ash and burns up. Holy crap. Which begs the question, like, is his skin hot? Is she in danger of like hurting herself holding him that close? And then there's the pretty sunrise and his ashes just floating off into the, yeah. I mean, that's sick and dark and twisted romance, but everybody's loving Saltburn when old buddy humps a grave. I mean, at least this is somewhat poetic. And then we fade to black, directed by David Slade, and it's all just icicles dripping. Ends at 4:10. So there you go. Tastes like barbecue. Exactly. Exactly. Well, and now we're seeing footage of produced by Sam Raimi. There you go. What other bits of interesting info are popping up here? Wow, why are they stretching out the credits so long? Yeah, they got 7 minutes of credits. They're showing like weird snippet footage while the title cards pop up. Huh. That's a weird choice to send people out on kind of this grossness. But it's cool. I dig it. It's a choice. But it was also a choice of you to join me and watch this. And I'm thankful for you in that choice. Shout out to Josh Hartnett. Shout out to, man, look how long they take in between names. Melissa George. And then I'm going to say shout out to Danny Houston because I felt like he stole the show. Yeah, I'm going to give Lamonia for riding for so long tonight. She's going to have the last word on the I'm pleasantly surprised with this movie. Yeah, I liked it as well. I thought it was good. Ben Foster did a fun job too. He played like a crazy stranger. I didn't really mention him earlier. But yeah, as far as the oddball vampire, not your traditional Bela Lugosi with capes kind of thing, I think this is a fun one. It's interesting. If you're not into sparkly vampires, you're into more gross, bloody vampires. It's a good one. I thought Josh Hartnett did a fine job. I don't really have any complaints about anyone or anything in this movie. I might even have to check out part 2. Bone says it's not that great, and the critics say it's bad, but the critics say this one is bad. So what the hell do they know? Thank you to all of you who joined us tonight. Lamonia, also Mr. Bones, Pugwall was a huge contributor to the chat. Anthony Chabot. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add Dark Days of Night to my queue, and I might check this out another point. But oh wow, she's going to watch Dark Days now too. Look at you. Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm curious to see how it ends. I see the woman on the cover, so it makes me think that the Danny Houston character is now like kind of this vampy, pardon the pun, kind of seductress or whatever. I don't know, looks cool. I like it. I might have to check that out. But yeah, we had a lot of usual friends. Echo Cero dropped by. Let's see. Our friend Brian's Masks, who is Brian's Basement or Jason Voorhees and Voorhees or something. I don't know. I can't ever keep track of what Brian is. Brian's the dude. Keep an eye out for the Jason Voorhees mask. Also, but so many of you that are usual friends of this channel, both long time and new, I appreciate you very much. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up since it's 5:12 Eastern time. But I'm sure we'll be back with something very soon. You never can tell how soon. The way I've been rolling with these, especially if the cold weather stands up, I may just hunker down and watch movies forever. By God! But thank you so much for joining me. You are awesome. All of you, both in the moment, Lamonia, and others watching, as well as those of you in the future. So I wish all of you green grass and high tides forever. Have a good day.